From elusive pre-break to the mysterious pre-buildup, through strange noises and a drop that will leave your head spinning, I'm about to take you on a wild behind-the-scenes journey of my remix, Losing My Head. So strap in and prepare for a wild sonic adventure that you'll not... Yeah, you see, this is from ChatGPT. I made a remix of Losing My Head, you guys smashed it with the support, so today we're gonna do a breakdown. This is what the drop sounds like. There is something I discovered while creating this remix that I have never thought about before. Let's talk about the intro. You might find these intro chords familiar, like something you've heard before. I don't know, a certain British spy movie? What really makes the intro interesting, is the ambience and the pluck loop. At the end of the intro, there's uplifters leading up to the break. I started the break with the bass line. I used a preset I like to call the Thumpy 808. I kept the ARP loop from the intro, but I added a tremolo ambience instead of the sustain ambience. Altogether, it sounds like this. Next, I added drums, which sounds like this. One important thing to notice here is that I ducked the volume on some of the drums just to make it more organic and make it like more... I also added fills in between just to make it more unique. At the end of the break, there's an impact and a refill. The build up. I started the build up by just chopping up the vocals. I added a clap and build-up drums. I then added a bass line which fit together with the synth from the original stems. Yeah, and there's two different basses playing here. It's the Thumpy 808 and a preset I like to call Plucky Grit. I kept the ambience from the break, but I added a riser and a new ambience. And here's what it sounds like. Halfway through, I added a vocal which is being introduced by a reversed reverb tail. So basically, I recorded the vocal with reverb and then I reversed it.
I think you know where this is about to go.
After this, there is more build-up drums and a sustained bass. Actually, it's not a sustained bass. I take it back. The vocals and everything is being pitched up here, by the way. Yeah, the synth is being pitched up at like the second part of the build-up. The pre-drop is really simple. There's an impact, a drum fill, and vocals. So leading up to... drumroll. The drop. The drop! If you're wondering, all the sounds and the presets in the drop are from Madzi Essentials 1 and 2. The drop starts off with a kick, a stab, the original vocal, and bass. After the first hit, there's 3 different reses. The first res has a lot of high frequencies. The second one is more mid-focused, but it still has the low frequencies removed. Oh yeah, by the way, that one is called break res, if you got the pack. So I actually lied to you, there's only 2 reses, but there is also a sub. And one thing that I discovered is on the res bass. So you can hear it goes from da, like it goes very low down. And it didn't really sound good when the sub went all the way down. So what I did, I just layered it with a sub. And instead of going down, I would just hold it at the same note. I can just show you what it sounds like. After 1 bar of reses, there's a kick and there's snares. And it's building up to the rest of the drop. This is what I like to call, this is what everyone like to call a fake out. Yeah, it basically sounds like this. And there is also vocal chops. So the second part of the drop has 3 layers of basses. There's a gritty bass, there's a sub, and then there's actually the thumpy 808 with out low frequencies. There's also a laser sound and 2 chord sounds, which sounds really off-key when you listen to it alone. But when you listen to it together with the track, it sounds okay. There's also a bunch of weird stuff. The drums in this section is very complex, but I'll just show you what it sounds like and what it looks like. So the next section is exactly the same as the first section of the drop, only it's now playing 7th instead of 4th. And that's probably wrong. It's playing like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tones. Someone commented on my other video, but I don't remember what is correct. But you can hear what it sounds like. So after this, there's a new section where there's kind of like a key switch. I go down 5 tones, and there's also an alarm playing. Pre-break. What the f is a pre-break? I have no idea. But after 16 bars, I kept the same melody as in the drop, but with different re's, and I created a pre-break. Because this is before the break. Basically, it sounds like this. I also did the same key switch on this one as in the previous one, but this time I added vocals instead of the alarm.
We gotta bring that.
And that's leading into, drum roll, the second break. So the second break has a lot of ambience. It has a riser, a downlifter to make everything sound atmospheric and full. I'll show you what everything sounds like together. There's also different top loops here, just so the listener doesn't get bored of the same top loop playing over and over again. Spicy tom loop, wonder where you can get that. I'm using the same reeds as in the pre-break, but this time it's sustain, which means it's playing long notes. To make it more harmonic, I also added an ARP, which sounds like this. Together it sounds like this. At the end of the break, there's a riser leading up to, drum roll, the pre-buildup. What the f is a pre-buildup, you might ask? I have no idea. But there's 8 bars before the buildup, and it's not a buildup, it's a pre-buildup. Because it's not in the break. The break is already played out. You have a break, you have 8 bars, you have... Here I basically just played the drop melody with the brass sound together with some drums. There's also ambience here. And also risers. The drums, different volume here as well. Second build up, basically the same as the first one, only a new rhythm, and I removed the synth sound from the original. Second drop. Basically the same as the first drop, only adding a new layer, which sounds like this. The second part of the second drop, we have this thing right here. So you basically have an oscillator A with like a bit of voices, detuned down, and then you have the same with the oscillator B. Put some effects on, you can just copy if you want the same sound, you know. And then you just automate the volume, so it goes really quick, like digga 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 digga. And you also, with the LFO2, you take the pitch down, so it's like, you can hear. Thank you for watching the video, and Subscribe if you like the video. Like the video if you subscribe it.